area right here where Corallys has drawn those arrows, and it's going to be tracking probably near the Wright community, given how quick this storm's moving right now at 50 miles an hour, probably right between Wright and Plum Bayou right now. State Highway 15 and 31, you're in the path of this storm. We're taking a little bit different look just based off of the live winds in this storm. Of course, that's what you're going to look at to determine where the rotation is, how strong is it. It's not very tightly wound up at this point. However, I will tell you, you can get these weak tornadoes in these squall lines like this. In fact, this is pretty typical of what we typically see in Arkansas. It is going to be somewhat tough to see. There's going to be a lot of rain. This isn't going to be like Friday where you're able to look at it and see it and catch it on camera. Likely rain wrapped if there is in fact anything there. Now this warning itself is set to expire at 11:15, if not canceled before then. It's certainly possible that they allow it to. Corallys, what do you say we back this up just a little bit? I am curious about some other towns that could be in the path of this storm. Folks in Tucker, Tomberlin, Coy, England, Plum Bayou, Wright, even Redfield, your NOAA weather radios are right now alerting you. Your cell phones are probably going off. Here's what is taking place. Here's Redfield. The warning itself initially included you, and technically it still does include you. However, I'll tell you that the area of rotation is now a few miles to the east of Redfield. So folks in Redfield, you're okay here this morning. Rotation right here, tracks due east, nearly due east. And here, of course, are going to be some of your time of arrivals at the County Line Church here at 11:10. That's 8 minutes from now. Jerusalem Church at 11:20. Community of Ryan 11:22. Elm Grove Church at 11:23.
Honestly, Scott, I think they were playing it safe because a lot of these storms have been forming very quickly, and it's also moving very fast towards the east at about 50. So I think that you'd rather have issued a warning than to have no warning at all. And already seeing the signs of this storm, it's already showing signs of pretty much falling apart, which is great news there. But the issue with this is that now that we're not dealing with these single cells like we were dealing with last night, they're more of segments. We go back towards the radar or clusters of some storms. Some of them have the little Boeing signature there, so that can produce some pretty gusty winds, but unfortunately they could also have some really brief quick spin ups, and I feel like that's going to be the case for the rest of our afternoon into the evening as it heads towards the east. So we have a cold front that's slowly pushing through right now. Sure, so this is where we're going to expect that rotation. Plum Bayou, right, thank you so much, Corallys. Here's going to be the leading edge of this storm. I'll tell you, what I see right now is not strong rotation. It's not a imminent tornado threat. There's probably some damaging straight line winds coming out of this. In fact, I wouldn't hate if we were able to do some coring of those winds, Corallys. If we're able to pull those up, measure some of those, see just how strong they are. That's going to be what our most concern is right now. Sometimes these squall lines, as they move through, they can get little eddies along the line, little kinks, and we kind of saw that develop. Happens pretty quickly. Often it very well could produce a very quick spin up tornado, and then it lifts pretty quickly. These are tough to warn for, so the Weather Service probably did the right move here, issuing that tornado warning when they saw that little eddy, knowing the parameters that are still in place. Now I'll tell you, there is a tornado watch. Hey Mike, your mic's open there. There is a tornado watch open in effect until 4 p.m. this afternoon, unless it's allowed to expire a little bit earlier, which is certainly possible. There are enough ingredients at place that's why we're tracking some of these storms pretty closely here this afternoon, just in case what happened continues to happen. We're just trying to see if we can pick up some of the winds. Okay, 30 mile per hour possibly there, gust. Again, the gusts were probably as high as, from what I've seen, 40 to 45, but right now it's I do believe just going to be gusting pretty good as it moves on through towards the east. So what I think is they're doing right now, because it did show some signs of weak circulation, they just wanted to play it safe with that tornado warning. So that warning is still going to be in effect for at least another 10 minutes. But right now, the signs in terms of any type of rotation, not very impressive, but pretty good. I want to say gusty winds. Yeah, for sure. Now that really is going to be our primary concern over the next few hours as we track these as they move towards the east. Our concern will be those damaging winds in excess of 60 miles per hour, which sure can cause enough damage, no doubt about it. This sign here on radar suggests that is in fact what we're seeing, is just some very gusty winds out of that. With that said, northern Jefferson County, we do have a tornado warning in effect. What prompted this was some circulation near Redfield.
crosses the Arkansas River. That rotation, should there actually be any, and we're just not finding it there this morning, is now going to be to the right, Plum Bayou, or just to the east. There will be some winds impacting the England community. Here's Coy and here's Tomberlin. Humnoak, you're outside of the warned area, but you'll certainly see some gusty winds, if not damaging winds, in the near future. A little bit of a kink still right there near Plum Bayou. Weather Service is saying they're continuing the warning. What they've done here is they've canceled it for Redfield. They've canceled a large majority of it. They're going to keep it here for the next few minutes at Plum Bayou, Tucker, and that's going to continue until 11:15 unless they are able to cancel that between now and 11:15. It's possible that they do. We certainly hope to send you back to regular programming. Until then, if you live along State Highway 15, here's going to be 256 just to the south of England, southwest of Coy. This is the area of most concern. I would recommend go ahead and taking it seriously. Move to the safe place in your home. Take those tornado safety precautions. Good news is what was weak circulation is continuing to get weaker, but as we know, we don't take these things lightly, and we're going to go ahead and take those tornado safety precautions. Corallys, are you seeing anything on Storm Track 11?
Not at all.
Okay, then we'll stay here. We'll stay here then.
I personally think it's just gusty winds.
Gusty winds. If we're able to quarry some of these, I'm curious what the wind speeds are. Certainly, if you're traveling along 256 here this morning, you very well could encounter some gusty winds. State Highway 15, 31 as well. If you know someone driving in this area, wouldn't hurt to give them a buzz. Make sure they know that there is a tornado warning. Their phones are certainly probably alerting them to such threat. Very gusty winds coming out of it, but what we're not seeing here this morning is we're not seeing tightly wound up circulation. What we did just see right there is the Weather Service dropping that warning. They've not told us that in our chat, so let's give this just a couple of more seconds. The warning itself looks to have fallen off our map, which I would consider a good sign. It was set to expire at 11:15. Rotation really weakened, and that warning appears to have been allowed to cancel early. All right, we're tracking these very closely. There is a tornado watch in effect until 4 p.m. Some of these spin-ups could occur. We're taking it very seriously and watching every cell closely. If something changes, if there is a threat, we'll be sure to interrupt regular programming and bring you the latest. In the meantime, for meteorologist Corallys, Ortiz, and myself, let's go ahead and send things back to regular programming.
Billy, if you're upset about our kiss.
Oh, no.